Good afternoon, Boogie. Hi. This is not going to be a happy video. This is a video that needs to be made, though. I'm doing this near the end of my drive home. I have a very short amount of time to get this put out. Somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes, max. And I have to say, this coincides with my feelings on something that happened less than 48 hours ago. This happened in a place that I visited once with people I've never met, never seen, will probably never know. 58 of which I can guarantee I will never know. 58 people who have done absolutely nothing wrong, but their lives were cut short by a terrorist. A lot of people are calling this man a lone wolf. Well, there's a lone wolf. There's now, in my mind, a branch of terrorism called the lone wolf. Because terrorism is not Islam. Terrorism is not ISIS. Terrorism is not Al-Qaeda. Terrorism is not a group. That is a massive terrorist group. Terrorism starts with one person. When I was in 2001, when 9/11 happened, my idea of a terrorist was not Al-Qaeda. My idea of a terrorist was Osama bin Laden. Why? He was a lone wolf leading an entire organization. You give a lone wolf access to tens of hundreds of people willing to give up their lives for him, and you have a terrorist group, but it's still defined by one. And yes, after 9/11, after a lot of different things, Al-Qaeda sort of broke down and bin Laden was taken and killed, and you now have ISIS, and I don't know what Al-Qaeda is doing anymore, but I can't believe that just because it's a single person, just because it's a white person, that you won't accept that it's a terrorist. This person killed 58 people in a span of 5 to 15 minutes. Seriously injured hundreds. Imagine if he had the kind of people to back him that any terrorist group has. Because let me put it to you this way. For each additional person that he could have had, you multiply that by the amount of people dead and injured. 100 people backing behind him. Guess what? You have 5,800 dead. 1,000 people. And you have 58,000 people dead. 500 hospitalized. You think that this is just a lone wolf, an isolated incident? From what I've seen, there have been 28 recorded terror mass shootings in recent history in America. And 24 of them were featured by white people. So you have 4 that were not. done by whites. Caucasians, Germanic, Celtic, doesn't matter. For people who are not white. Or for shootings of people who are not white. Or perpetrated by people who are not white. Sweetie, I absolutely love you. And I know that you're smart enough to understand what this means. This video is mainly not for you. So if I haven't asked you to skip it by now, go right ahead. I'm probably going to warn you in advance. You can skip 12 and I will not care. If you have listened by now, I want you to know I love you. Goodbye. The rest of this video, and none of this video is really for you, but it's part of this series. And if you do watch it, I want you to take this much from it. Your father does not support terrorism of any kind. I am not a fan of the Black Lives Matter movement because it is a form of terrorism now. I do not support the KKK because it is a form of terrorism. I do not support Antifa, and I do not support anything where people are willing to kill simply due to a difference in beliefs. And that's how I believe. So if someone out there says that this person was a lone wolf, that is an isolated incident, tell them this. Now, my information may not be completely right. I haven't double checked on this. This is just some information that I recently learned about today, and I was at work all day, so I haven't been able to fact check all of this. But I do know that I can't name off a single mass shooting of recent memory in the United States that was perpetrated by someone other than a white person. Seriously. And yeah, I am extremely judgmental of everyone else. I know that I told the phrase judge, yeah, let's not you be judged, and I will not judge anyone on a religious standard. But I don't always look for the best. I instantly start trying to figure out what someone's hidden agenda is, because I want to figure out what's going on so that I'm not screwing myself and my family over. Which is why I try and stay out of politics as much as possible. Right now, this is a really fucked up situation. Sorry about the cursing. If we have a swear jar, $5 goes right in there. The first time you watch it, don't watch it a million times. And seriously, it's messed up. Because people are not going to look at this the way that they should. You're going to have people who are on the pro-gun side, which I am part of the pro-gun side, who are going to say some smart things, who are going to say some stupid things. One thing I do have to say on this is the person who did this shooting yesterday, or not yesterday, well, I guess it was yesterday morning. It was somewhere between 10, I think it was 10 o'clock on Sunday night. So yeah, Sunday night this happened, I think. I may not be completely sure on that. Don't judge me, please. But it happened somewhere overnight, Sunday night, Monday morning. This guy just wails out. And at first people thought it was pyrotechnics messing up. Fireworks. It was at a concert. And that's what happened. They don't know exactly what the time frame was on that. We got some as short as 5 minutes, some as long as 15. So somewhere between 5 and 15 minutes, this guy is able to cause damage for over 500 people. 500 plus who were injured, and 58 who died. Because this guy wanted to kill. And there's a mental health problem. And someone online told me that this guy, that he didn't have any mental health issues, that he was just doing it for shits and giggles, doing it for the lulz. Don't you think that's kind of messed up and there's something wrong with his head if someone's doing it just for laughs? Someone's doing it just because they can? A sane person, even plenty of people who are not right in the head, would be like, yeah, that guy's weird and we shouldn't trust that kind of behavior. That could have been prevented if there was proper mental health awareness. You have a tiny subset of the United States that has a strong focus on mental health awareness and mental health education. Everybody else is living in ignorance. So yeah, that is my take on it. Yeah, guns can be bad. Guns can be terrible. Guns can be some of the worst things out there in the wrong hands. But I have seen time and time again how guns can protect people, how guns can be used to serve people, and how guns can be used to create a way of life, a way of nourishment. So yeah, I'm not pro-gun, and I'm not anti-gun. I'm pro-people! I don't think that guns should be readily available for whoever the heck can get it. I think that there should be stronger things on it. Not just on the white market. On the black market too. At least I think it's called the white market. White and black are kind of opposites as far as colors go. But on the normal market, on the legal market, and on the illegal black market. So what? We got tons of people who are getting it on the black market, who are getting tons of weapons. My father-in-law has talked to people who have just outright said, yeah, I could get this. It'll be a bit costly, but I can get it. Guy tells me a time and a place, I go. I can do it right then and there. For those who have seen Breaking Bad, you've obviously seen some of the things that has gone off on that and how it has worked from there. And yeah, you've seen Walter White just buy a gun, an unmarked gun. So yeah, he could have gotten it legally too. That's the funny thing. He could have just legally gotten the gun, but because he wanted to do something underhanded, he opted into getting guns illegally, getting untraceable guns. And that's the thing. It's extremely easy to get these things. So maybe instead of regulating who can legally get it, which we've already done, maybe make some changes to it, but maybe look into the black market on these things. Figure this stuff out. I understand that there's a necessity for some things, but at the end of it, what are we going to do? How are we going to figure this out? Because I can guarantee that if we stay on this path of only worrying about the legal side of things, and the guy had a ton of weapons. There was no way that this guy had gotten these weapons legally. So yeah, the way that he would get weapons is, or the way that he got his weapons is definitely different than the way that my father-in-law would get weapons. My father-in-law has gotten plenty of weapons, and my dad has gotten plenty of weapons legally. But focus more on the illegal trade of assault weapons or any weapons. If you're not doing it legally, stop it. And to mental health. I know plenty of people who have already tried to argue with me over this, but here's the thing. If we focus on gun control, true gun control, and if we get a few more things taken care of and get a stronger focus on mental health, especially as it relates to healthcare, stuff like that, then maybe, just maybe, we can start to crack down on this. Because as soon as the threat of losing guns happens, a lot of gun owners start buying guns. Just buys them out completely. As much as they can get. As much ammunition as they can get. Because they're scared of losing what they feel is important to their livelihood. And trust me, I've wanted to go hunting for years. I wanted to be able to get my own food, chop it and gut it and cook it myself. That's appealing to me. But I don't want to put someone else's life at risk for that either. So maybe I just need to use a bow and arrow on that. Anyway, Boogie, if you have stayed this entire time, I'm not sure to be happy or disappointed. Like I said, you can skip this one for now. If you do a second or third time through with these, feel free to watch this. Or I guess you already have. Anyway, you all will see me in my next video. I hope that I don't decide to delete this one just because, yeah. And bye-bye.